Hello. It's been a little while since I've done an update where I just sort of sit down and fill you in on where I'm at and what's to come. And I've been, kind of, I wouldn't say neglecting, but I haven't been giving this channel a whole lot of love over the last 6 months. And I think I'd like to change that. So I'll get to that in a little bit, but for starters, I'm heading back to Mexico. That's pretty significant for me for a variety of reasons. This is not a permanent move. I'm heading for at least a few weeks, but that may very well be extended to a much longer period of time. I'm not sure yet. Flying directly for Mexico City this afternoon. I'm very excited for it. Even though when I woke up this morning, I looked outside and I was like, I'm going to miss you, Paris. And I haven't even left yet. That's a good sign, I feel like. I mean, look, for example, look at that. What the heck? That's awesome. Hello. I'm in this weird transition phase. There's something really big coming next spring. A few really big things coming next spring that I can't talk about just yet. But until then, I am very kind of fluid and nomadic right now. So I can kind of be anywhere. And it just started to make a lot of sense to go back to Mexico. Everything will make a lot more sense in a few months, trust me, but you're going to have to be patient with me about that. Anyway, this is really significant for me because for those of you that have been following along for a long time now, longer than the existence of this channel, No Backup Plan, I used to live in Mexico. I spent 6.5 months living there in 2019. It's significant for me because that's the place where it all started, if you will. I started making videos like 6 years ago now at this point, but it was in Mexico, 4 years into posting videos and trying everything that I could think of to make it work, that it finally took off. And it was sort of a life-changing period of my life. So many things happened so quickly there. And I have a lot of amazing memories, but it's also interesting to look back and see how different my lifestyle was to what it is today. I mean, I was ultra focused on my work, ultra focused on getting my channel off the ground. And so I didn't have a whole lot of I really didn't socialize very much at all. So I didn't have a whole lot of a social life, if you will. I lived like a 50-year-old man. I'd go to bed really early, I'd wake up really early, and I would work all the time. And so it's just so interesting to see kind of how different things are for me now, 2 years later. I've dedicated so much more time and energy to making friends and connecting with other content creators and developing other aspects of my life that don't necessarily have everything to do with work. So it's sort of an opportunity to go full circle, and I'm really excited. Mexico's an incredible place, There's this amazing energy about it. The people are so nice, so lovely. And it's a great place to spend winter, I think, in the Northern Hemisphere because it's a lot warmer. Funnily enough, going there in summer, at least Mexico City, is tricky because it's actually the rainy season. I actually think the best time to go is in winter. If you've been following along what I've been posting over the last couple of years, the difference between what I used to post back when I was living in Mexico and now is pretty significant. Especially this year, on multiple occasions, I really questioned self-help and self-improvement. I don't think they're evil, but I really felt the desire to sort of shift directions and expand more into adventure and philosophy and, just placing more of an emphasis on the spiritual side of things and just like living dynamically, if you will. And it's not 100% clear where things are going, I'm really excited about next year. There's, like I said, a lot of really big things coming, but I'm also at the same time sort of in a soul-searching phase right now where I'm trying to figure out, okay, what are the things that spark my excitement the most? Because it's not what it used to be. So the answer, I think, as has always been the case, is experimenting. I'm gonna continue to experiment and see what works for me and what excites me and what clicks. And that's sort of where this channel comes into the picture again, because I'd like to go back to posting on here a little bit more often. I don't wanna create any pressure, any specific posting schedule or timeline or whatever, but I would like to continue to use this space to try out new things. And I'm tempted, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, by the idea of doing really sort of stripped down vlogs, with a little bit of music, but not a whole lot, and just simple productions, sharing moments of my life. I don't know, there's something enjoyable to me about posting more often, and it feels kind of impossible on my main channel where every video is a huge production, with a lot of planning, a lot of love and, personal passion, if you will, poured into each video. And it's just not, I've just created an environment there where I can't rush things or I can't just whip something out really quickly. And that's okay. I'm proud of what I make and what I post, especially on there. But it has created this sort of dynamic where I can't often post more than 2 or 3 times a month, really. So I don't know. I'm trying to figure out kind of where I want to go from here. You know, it's really funny. The way I've looked back on the period of my life in Mexico has changed over time. You know, last year, especially during the first lockdown, I was quite nostalgic. I was very much missing that period of my life. And maybe sort of wishing that I had been more social and met more people, but also just reminiscing in a positive way about the amazing changes and the amazing discoveries that I made by really focusing on honing in on my voice as an artist. And now I look back and it's not really, I wouldn't say it's nostalgic, because nostalgic sort of for me evokes bittersweetness. It just feels like a very important chapter in my life that has led to now. And it feels like life has gotten only richer since then. And I don't feel any desire to go back to how I used to live. I'm just curious about what comes next and where things go from here, if that makes sense. You know, I don't know if any of you have felt this way about having kind of a personal connection with a place where something important happened. It was enormous, the changes that happened to me while I was in Mexico. I mean, I really went from arriving there and not being sure at all if I was going to be able to make a living creating things and sharing them online, you know, really making almost no money whatsoever, to all of a sudden millions of people are tuning in and watching my work and supporting me, and it was like, it was overwhelming. It was scary almost, and also incredible. Anyway, just wanted to share this little update. My home will still be Paris in the medium and long-term future, and more updates coming on that in not a super long time. I'm telling you, there's so many cool things coming this spring and just next year in general that I cannot wait to share. I wish I could share more right now, but I can't just yet, but it will be worth the wait. One thing I'd like to ask is if you have any suggestion or any personal preference on what you would like to see a little bit more of on this channel. I can't make any promises, but I'm curious what you're interested in. Thank you so much for the support, and I'll see you soon. If you like what I do, please consider supporting my work on Patreon.